38 against Troy and 31 against Minnesota. All 4 games, as you said, have gone over for Iowa. As we know, Iowa has been an under machine for years. In fact, I got the number right here in front of me. 21-6 the last 3 seasons for Iowa unders. And that was the most unders in all of college football, which is no surprise. It's been kind of a little bit of a joke of how many times Iowa has been going under. So I'm going to stay away from the total because I was actually more on the over, and you've kind of convinced me maybe a little bit on staying away from that. But
you got the gavel, Ryan.
But I do want to say this, Dave, about the line. When it first came out, on Sunday, you and I were doing On the Money on Sunday morning, and we always like to kind of like look ahead at what lines are going to be. When we saw that number above 3 touchdowns, you and I both kind of looked at each other like, "Ooh, that's a little high for this game." And you can tell that number's come down a little bit. Now I think it may have overcorrected a little bit, and I would actually consider laying the 19.5 because I kind of like Ohio State by winning this game by about 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think I still haven't done my final prediction, but like I'm right around 31-10 as I do it in my head. So yeah, I think I wouldn't have liked them to cover 23. I like them to cover 19. You nailed it. I think there's been an overcorrection, just like I think there's been an overcorrection with Iowa's total points. They've covered in all 4 games, but they've played some
bad teams.
Except
Iowa State.
And that's the one thing. Like Iowa, frankly, in my opinion, should be ranked because people, I think, wrote them off after they lost to Iowa State. It's like, okay, first of all, Iowa State's a good team, ranked 16th. You could make the argument they should be ranked 15th. They're a legit good team. It's an in-state rivalry. They lost on a last-second field goal by 1 point. Okay. Iowa's a good team. They're coming off a bye. They got a really good running back who ran his mouth. Not a good idea. Caleb Johnson. He's a really good running back. He's from Ohio. Said he didn't want to go to Ohio State, which is an easy thing to say if Ohio State didn't offer you a scholarship, right? Would he have not gone to Ohio State if they offered him a scholarship and showed him a lot of love? Who knows? But I would advise that young man not to poke the bear. Too late now. But they're going to come in. They got a good offensive line. Their tight ends are always good. They happen to have a Buckeye at tight end, which I don't like. Luke Lachey. I wish he was a Buckeye. I still consider Luke a Buckeye. I remember seeing Luke over at practice as a little kid many times because Jim would go out there. I wish Luke Lachey was a Buckeye, but he's a Hawkeye. And their defense is going to be very good. And Cade McNamara, while he's not a great quarterback, we know Cade McNamara. He's not terrible. He's solid. This will be a good game, Scotty. I think Ohio State's going to be tight in the first half. Ohio State will pull away to a certain extent in the second half.
See, and one thing about this game, too, Dave, is this is the first time where you got a legit opponent, a really good opponent, in the shoe this year, right? Everybody's all got this excitement for this season. And then you start the year and you've got 3 games against 3 teams that are obviously a big step below what Iowa is. And so I think finally you're going to see Ohio Stadium with that extra buzz, the fact that you've got a Big Ten opponent and there's a lot more excitement going in. I know as someone who's watching the Buckeyes myself, I'm really excited for Saturday. And so, it's one thing to get excited about watching Ohio State play Marshall and Akron and Western Michigan. Now you got a Big Ten opponent in here at the shoe. I hope and I expect that stadium to be really loud and really difficult to play in. And of course, you're getting everything ready for the next week against Oregon because, to me, now the schedule begins. I know that Michigan State was a Big Ten opponent on the road, but I don't think anybody thought that game was going to be very close. Now we're at the point where it is put up or shut up time because I think now is when the schedule really starts.
No doubt about it. And a lot of people had Iowa as their dark horse, long shot to win the Big Ten. This is what I put when I say everybody wrote them off after Iowa State. Not wrote them off like they'd be 5-7, but wrote them off as a good team. This is why I say I maintain they should be ranked. I'm not saying they should be ranked in the top 15. They should be 24th or something. Iowa's a top 25 team. Their defense is as good as usual. They've got a fantastic linebacker who was great last year. Higgins, their defense is just always good. Their offensive line was kind of shaky last year, but ended up being good, and then pretty much all those guys are back, so their offensive line's real good. They got a stud running back. This will be a tough game, so, and you mentioned something about next week, too. It's interesting. Not that the players or the coaches should look ahead, but I saw the look-ahead line to Oregon. Buckeyes favored by 2.5.
Yeah. That's been an interesting line to track. I'll tell you one thing that I've had a lot of success with so far betting Ohio State games is I have actually been moving the lines a little bit. So in that Ohio State-Michigan State game, the line was 23.5. And it really, the way it played out, I moved the line down to 20.5 because I always was fearful, like, oh, if OSU's up 28 late and Michigan State gets one of those junk touchdowns and wins by 21, you don't win the bet. But that was successful for me. I also moved the line down in that Marshall game. One thing that we've noticed in these first 4 games is that Ohio State betting line has been very close to what the actual final score has been. It has kind of come down to the last couple possessions each time. It hasn't been Ohio State blowing out on the line, or it hasn't been Ohio State way down on the line. So I would recommend, with that line being 19 and a half, I would consider moving that line down to 16 and a half and building your parlays that way. I feel a lot more confident at 16 and a half.
Do you feel confident about quizzing Ryan and I on college football lines next?
Oh, you know I like to try and stump you guys.
It's not really hard.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes it is. We'll find out next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or 2 half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Trust and Will knows that this fall, you're likely celebrating a birthday, your own, a loved one's, or even welcoming a new addition, because fall is the most popular birthday season in America, and Trust and Will celebrates milestones by protecting what matters most. Trust and Will makes estate planning easy and affordable, with step-by-step guidance designed by attorneys but customized by you. All documents are state-specific, legally valid, and secure. Plus, Trust and Will has thousands of 5-star reviews and a rating of excellent on Trustpilot. So join the hundreds of thousands of families in celebrating and securing your future with Trust and Will. Visit trustandwill.com now with offer code Columbus for 10% off your plan. That's trustandwill.com, offer code Columbus. Trustandwill.com. Trust and Will is an online service providing legal forms and information. It is not a law firm and is not a substitute for the advice of an attorney. Documents are not valid until formally executed in accordance with applicable law.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they are also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better, just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Would you believe that giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people? Or that a single cloud can weigh 550 tons or more? Sounds fake, right? How about an insurance company that actually treats you right? Sounds unbelievable, but it's true. NJM Insurance is proud to put policyholders first. And they don't use jingles or mascots either. Don't believe me? Well, guess what? Everything in this commercial is true and approved by the legal department. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Visit njm.com for a quote.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
All right, we're going to look across the college football landscape betting-wise and kind of look at some interesting trends this segment. We're also going to kind of look and see for Saturday's games, are there some things that we like out there betting-wise? We always like to, on our Sunday show, jump on that line as quickly as you can. We're going to give you some advice on some games to jump on here as well. Now, I want to throw this out at you guys because Michigan-Washington just happens to be this weekend, and there's not a ton of buzz about it, but these were the two teams that played in the national championship last year. And there was a look-ahead line before the season started on this game. And I want you two to kind of put your heads together and guess what that betting line was at the start of the season. And then I think we will reveal, obviously, what the line is now.
Michigan 10.5. What do you think, Ryan?
I think that sounds a little high just because they were both losing their head coach and losing quarterbacks. And I was kind of thinking half of that, like about 5.5 to 6.
Washington lost like their entire roster.
Yeah.
Nobody had them ranked coming into the year. Everybody had Michigan in the top 10 just because they didn't do their homework.
That just seemed high to me, 10.5.
So we got a 10.5 and we got a 5.
So we can split the difference.
We do that a lot.
You want to go 8?
I like where you guys are headed because it was 8.5.
Okay.
8.5. And it has moved an entire 11 points.
It's 2.5 now. I know that.
Yeah.
I saw that this morning.
It has been a wild ride. Michigan now a 2.5-point underdog
and Washington's
in that game.
Not good.
No, Washington just
Michigan
lost
is
to
bad.
Rutgers, right?
Yes.
I mean, and we're higher on Rutgers than a lot of people are, but the fact is Washington way down, and now Michigan goes, and they are a 2.5-point underdog. My next question for you guys, looking across the college football landscape, there are 9 teams that are undefeated against the spread. There's a couple that have ties. But I want to see
Indiana.
If you guys can name. There's one Big Ten school that is amongst the teams.
Indiana.
That is incorrect.
Really?
Indiana is not correct.
It's Rutgers.
It is not Rutgers either.
Darn.
It is not Rutgers.
Indiana. Wait, when didn't Indiana cover? They covered all of their games, haven't they?
No, they didn't. They didn't.
Maryland, they were favored by 6.5. They won by 14.
They're 4-1 against the spread. Indiana did not cover against. Let's see here.
Blasphemy.
They did not cover. They covered against Maryland. They covered against Charlotte. They covered against UCLA. They did not cover week 1 against Florida International. So.
It's Big Bert, isn't it?
Really?
It is Big Bert.
They won that game by like 40 points or something.
Yeah, they won that game 31-7. So they did not cover the spread in that one.
They were a little shaky that game. And Signetti's debut.
So the one team from the Big Ten that is undefeated against the spread is Illinois. Ooh, okay.
Bert.
There's a few other teams that are out there. One team from the SEC. Who's that team from the SEC who is undefeated against the spread, guys?
You think Tennessee?
Ooh, that's a good one. The first one that come to my mind was Bama, but I'm not sure. They have some big spreads.
Remember that South Florida game?
Yeah.
They didn't cover that one.
How about Tennessee? Yeah, thank you, Scotty. Scotty's that's like the nicest thing Scotty's ever done. Like he's done a lot of nice things like off the air. Usually on the air, Scotty likes to pretend like he's not a nice guy because Scotty's a very nice guy. On the air, he kind of likes to pretend like I'm kind of a jerk, but he's not. That was very, very nice of you, Scotty.
Kentucky might be a sneaky pick,
but they got smoked by South Carolina, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Let's go Tennessee.
Tennessee is right. Right. Absolutely. You
nice
guys
color
had
of your
that
shirt, by the way.
Yeah, you guys had that one right away. Why didn't you get a ding when you got it wrong?
We
but
had
you
it
get
right away.
You get one when you get it right? What the
I
heck?
just thought of it.
That's
all
right.
right.
We the Price is Right losing horn is there if we need it. Don't worry.
Okay, so this is going to determine if you guys win this little off the top. There's one Big 12 team that is undefeated against the spread. Can you get that team? They are 5-0. That's a hint. 5-0. Not 4-0. They've played 5 games.
Are they a religious school? Do they have a lot of Mormons at the school?
They do.
Yeah,
they
BYU.
do.
Let's go.
You got it. BYU.
Former national champion BYU.
Can I give you another one here, guys? One is Ohio State has played this team this year. That should be a layup, right? What is it?
Ohio State's played this team. What's the question? I'm sorry.
This team has covered the spread. They're undefeated covering the spread. They're 4-0 against the spread. Who is that team?
Do we think it's Marshall?
That would have been my guess.
100%. It is Marshall. Good job.
Thundering Herd.
There's also 2 more teams from the ACC. They are undefeated against the spread. I'm going to throw out one is Louisville. Louisville has a tie against the spread. So one more ACC team undefeated against the spread. Who is it?
G-Tech, but I think they lost to Syracuse, though. I don't remember the spread of that one. G-Tech was the first one that came to mind. Who else is even good?
Virginia Tech, maybe.
What about Boston College? They have one loss, but overall, they've been a
And
surprise.
I don't know
Bill
how.
O'Brien.
I wouldn't think it's Miami. They probably didn't cover last
No,
week.
they
so
didn't. I'm going to say Boston College. What do you think?
works for me.
Nope, that's not right.
He took a lot of joy out of that.
It's actually the Pitt Panthers. Pitt
Oh.
is going to be on the road against North Carolina this week. That'll be
trap
interesting.
game.
Now, right before we take a break here, I want to tell you about two teams that are not only just covering the spread, they're covering the spread by an average of more than 3 touchdowns, Dave. Who are those two teams?
Oh, boy.
One we've already talked about. They're undefeated against the spread. They're playing in a big-time conference.
BYU.
No, it's actually Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yep, Tennessee is covering by an average of 21 points per game. And then the other team is a team that
Ohio
you and I
State.
were talking about off-air because they had a little bit of a quarterback change.
Oh, UNLV.
UNLV.
We need to talk about that later. In fact, let's talk about that
next.
On the money.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Do you have foot pain? Foot pain is not normal regardless of your age or job. Podiatric physicians are the most qualified doctors to care for your feet and can provide important foot care solutions or shoe inserts to better manage foot pain. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. We've been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
I don't know what I want to do. I'm just not sure that college is right for me. Have you considered a career in dental assisting? I love my job as a dental assistant. I have flexible work hours, the money is good, and I get to work in a professional, people-oriented dental office. What I really love about my job is knowing that I give people a healthy smile.
For more information about becoming a dental assistant, contact your high school guidance counselor. Or if you are no longer in school, talk to a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
1 in 3 student athletes gets disturbing messages from sports bettors. This threatens the safety and mental health of college athletes like Tyler.
I'm a student and an athlete. I don't deserve to be threatened over my play. If you're upset about your sports bet, don't take it out on me, because I'm more than a bet.
These threats are not acceptable. Stop harassing college athletes over a bet. Learn more at morethanabet.org.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby, reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
Did you know 38% of Ohio's teenagers have spent money on gambling in video and online games? Items like mystery boxes, skins, and spin to win mimic gambling, putting children at a higher risk of experiencing a gambling disorder as an adult. So get in the know about youth gambling and start the conversation with discussion guides, parent resources, and more at changethegameohio.org. That's changethegameohio.org.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
All right, one of the more interesting stories right now in college football is former UNLV quarterback Matthew Sluka, who left the Rebels after 3 games over an NIL dispute. His agent and he both said that he was promised $100,000 by a collective or somebody, promised by the offensive coordinator is what they said. There's no evidence of this. And you can say, well, it could have been like a verbal agreement. The Athletic did a really good story on this yesterday. And there's a lot of emails from the agent. His last name's Cromartie. I don't think it's any not the Cromartie brothers who played in the NFL. I don't know if it's any relation or not, but his last name's Cromartie. And he claims that his client, Suka, was offered $100,000 by the offensive coordinator. Here's where it gets sketchy. Because initially I thought, yeah, they probably reneged on that. You know, the kid was promised $100,000, which is not that much, as you and I know, for a quarterback, even at UNLV in Division I football. That's not that much, as crazy as that sounds. So I was thinking, yeah, they probably went back on their word. Man, The Athletic has all of these emails back and forth from the agent Cromartie to UNLV's collective, UNLV's offensive coordinator. There's no mention of $100,000. He had many, many times he could have mentioned that. He never brought that up, which leads me to believe that was never really a part of the agreement. So after 3 games, for those who don't know the story, UNLV is a good team. They're ranked now. They were not ranked after 3 games, but they were almost ranked. So this quarterback who transferred from Holy Cross to UNLV leaves after 3 games. When he tells his head coach, Barry Odom was not happy about that, as you can imagine. They had another transfer that they brought in. Kid from Campbell, another kid from a small school. They bring him in this last week. They're favored by 6 over Fresno State. They completely blow him out.
Yep.
And this kid looked great. And I don't know, man. So some people are like, well, maybe they knew they had a better quarterback. That's why they didn't pay this kid. I could believe that if I didn't see the email exchange that the Athletic uncovered. This is just a fascinating story, Scotty. Where do you come down on this?
Yeah, it is fascinating. I hate, I hate that we do not have the structure in place really to protect everybody, right? I understand that there's going to be verbal agreements and stuff, but you have to have, if you're expecting $100,000, you have to have the paperwork in a contract and have it figured out.
If not a contract, at least something in writing.
Something.
If not a text, right? An email.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Seriously.
So you can't just assume that's right. Going to be coming through. Now, I will say this about UNLV. They, of course, as you said, they destroyed Fresno State in that last game. UNLV is one of those teams that is on the borderline of being one of those teams that from a smaller conference that could make their way into the college football playoff, right? You talked about them being ranked. They're actually right now kind of in that conversation with a Liberty, with a Boise State, with those teams right now, Memphis, James Madison, and UNLV is actually 7-1 to make the college football playoff. So it's been an interesting story, and it's extra interesting because they might even be in a better shape with this new quarterback, as you mentioned, destroying Fresno State, than what they were before. Now, they did beat Kansas, and they have a win over Houston. So it'll be fun to kind of track to see what happens with this UNLV season going forward.
And they talked to the former head coach at Holy Cross, who I think took over for Signetti at James Madison. And he was like, listen, Matthew Sluka had offers of $300,000, up to $500,000 to transfer schools. He took less money to go to UNLV, and they gave him 3% of that. He got $3,000.
Wow.
$3,000.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we'd be like, man, he's getting $3,000 on top of a scholarship. Yeah,
so
buddy.
I've heard he got that 4 times. He's been paid $12,000 already.
Only got $3,000 of it though. They told him they would give him $3,000 over 4 months, is what you're thinking of.
So
he only got one of the.
Well, the article I
read
read was different. It said that he had been paid $12,000 already. So different articles, I guess.
It's a moving target. Well, according to him and who knows, his agent doesn't sound like maybe the most trustworthy guy. According to now, his father was also quoted in the Athletic story. According to not just the agent, but the Sluka family, he only got $3,000. Again, it's hilarious to even say this out loud. Only $3,000 as a college kid at UNLV, not at Ohio State. Kid completing less than 50% of his passes. So this is why the conspiracy theorists come in. They're like, okay, they just told they knew that they overpaid for this kid. It's like, no, there would be some type of paper trail. This agent, there was numerous emails back and forth between the offensive coordinator and the agent and the collective at UNLV. He never mentions once, hey, by the way, my guy was promised $100K. Never once mentions that. He mentions things like, look forward to meeting, look forward to doing business, look forward to having some opportunities for my client. Never mentions the fact that you have a verbal agreement for $100,000.
Yeah.
It's just hard to believe.
Dave, in the Athletic article, did they talk about the running back that left the same day because supposedly he was not getting paid as well?
I believe that was in there. I'll have to check. There's a lot in there.
Well, I
believe so, though, Ryan.
One thing I wanted to bring up, too, is we talked about UNLV to make the playoff. So I want to give away some of these odds on teams to make the playoff. And we want to build another parlay because we want to make some more money for people. So it's something that we talked about before the season. We built one. Now we're a month into the college football season. That playoff picture is a little bit clearer, and there's still value out there on to make the playoff parlays. So let's build one next on the money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Common Man and T-Bone here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Bone, did you know the sportsbook is now called ESPN Bet?
I did, and you can watch your favorite teams on the biggest screens, place your bets, and grab some wings with an ice-cold pint.
Maybe you're too boring and don't want to go to the casino. Good news. You can keep the action going and place your bets on the go with the ESPN Bet app.
The ESPN Bet Sportsbook is your 50-yard line ticket to odds, point spreads, and over-unders.
It's the place to be. Losers must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. Looking to upgrade? The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers and want you to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward. Thanksgiving's coming up fast. So while you're counting your blessings, why not add a thankful 30 to the list? With Awaken 180 weight loss, you could drop 30 pounds by Thanksgiving, or even 40 if you get the same results I did. I dropped my first 30 pounds in just over a month, and let me tell you, it's a game changer. Imagine this. While everyone else is debating the play calling in the big games, you're sitting at the dinner table feeling lighter, more energetic, and thankful for the 30 pounds no longer holding you back. If I can drop 55 pounds with Awaken 180, I know you can hit the thankful 30 by Turkey Day. It's simple. It's laid out for you. And as you all know by now, it doesn't include a lifetime of medications. That's why I chose Awaken 180. Be thankful this year by dropping your 30 or more pounds. Head to awaken180weightloss.com and reserve your consultation today. It's fast, proven, and as you all know, the weight will stay off thanks to free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Football fans, are you ready to score big this NFL season? Matty Ice here to tell you that Bud Light and 97.1 The Fan have teamed up for the ultimate football face-off. Join us each week for football face-off events and your chance to win a trip to Vegas where you'll compete for the grand prize, a trip for two to New Orleans for the Super Bowl. Drink Bud Light, enjoy the games, and take your shot at football glory. This week, join me on Sunday at O'Nelly's, the Dolphins backer bar in Lewis Center. For the Dolphins-Patriots game, I'll be there from 2 to 4 p.m. to give you a shot at going to the Super Bowl.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
It's time to talk college football playoffs and to build another parlay. That's what we do here on the Money. And so we're going to work together, Ryan, Dave, and I are going to figure out our college football playoff parlay. And I've got one from the start of the season that's in really good shape. It was a 7-way parlay. It almost went up in flames on last Friday night, because Miami is in there. And Miami ends up with a miracle win over Virginia Tech. And so they are still minus 200 to make the playoff. But guys, let's build a new one now that we are 1 month into the season. And I think what we should do is every month we should do this. And so at the beginning of November, we should kind of reassess and build another one. Mine from the beginning of the season's in good shape. I think some of yours, guys, is that you've built are in good shape. But let's do our October to make the playoff parlay. And it's impossible not to throw Alabama in there, right? Because after that win over Georgia, is there any way that Alabama doesn't make the playoff?
No, because I think, they might not. Even 10-2 Alabama might get in.
Maybe even 9-3.
Yeah, there's going to be multiple 2-loss teams that get in. Yeah, I think Alabama's.
Gosh, 9-3 is gross.
This is why you see the odds where they're at, Scotty. Minus 1,200 Bama, minus 1,000 for Ohio State,
well,
minus 800. Yeah.
Well,
I got Alabama, Ohio State, Texas, Oregon, Georgia, Tennessee, Miami.
Okay.
And I'll throw Notre Dame in there.
So Alabama, Ohio State, Texas, Oregon, Georgia,
Tennessee,
Miami. I still need to see Tennessee play somebody.
I believe
really
in them because Josh Heupel showed me 2 years ago he's the right coach for that job. He took over. They had been a sleeping giant. Bad coaches. They were always a sleeping giant. He takes over for Jeremy Pruitt. They're okay with year one. Bam, year two. Couldn't really play defense, but they were a problem. And then took a step back last year, but I believe in Heupel. I think Tennessee is a legit team. I'll be surprised if they don't make the playoff.
You think they would be the fourth SEC team? Because obviously you think Alabama and Texas
I think
and Georgia.
Ole Miss, exit stage left.
Okay.
All
right. And we think that Miami is still the team in the ACC, despite the fact that they barely got by Virginia Tech.
I'm putting them in there, but if you put Clemson in there ahead of them, I wouldn't be mad about it. You're getting better odds then because Miami's minus 200, Clemson's plus 350. And again, if you're just tuning in this year, odds just to make the 12-team playoff.
Yeah.
There's not odds to win the national championship or win a playoff game. Just pick the teams that are going to make the 12-team playoff. It's fun. We've done a lot of parlays. I did several 9-leg parlays that have already been crumbled up. But I got some long ones that are still good. As long as Utah can somehow get back in the mix, I might be okay.
I do want to say this, too. This is pretty good value just if you crossed off the line at 6 teams with Bama, Ohio State, Texas, Oregon, Georgia, and Tennessee. If you just stop there, you're almost getting 2-1. And that's pretty good value because any one of those not making it would be a surprise.
I got it off the top for Ryan Baker. Ryan, guess the odds for Indiana to make the playoff and guess the odds for Michigan to make the playoff.
I'm guessing Michigan's are better. Michigan probably 11-1. And Indiana probably somewhere 16-20.
No.
Dude.
Not even close.
Bro.
Really?
Broski. Indiana plus 550.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Plus 550. They're like a top 15 team according to the odds. Michigan plus 750.
So, funny story about Indiana.
Indiana's got much better odds than Michigan to make the playoffs.
I remember standing outside at a tailgate outside the Ohio State game before Indiana played UCLA. Okay. And we were looking at teams to make the college football playoff, and Indiana was 42-1. And we were kind of chuckling because we're like, oh, man, if we looked at their schedule and we analyzed and we're like, this is a pretty good setup of a schedule in the Big Ten. This team could make a run. And it's like, oh, no, it's Indiana. They're not doing it. 42-1's not good enough. And now, as you said, they're plus 550 to make the college football playoff because of the schedule, and it's set up really nicely. I still would stay away. I don't recommend it at plus 550. If we could have gotten it, closer to say 12-1 or 14 or 18-1, yes, but at this point, no. All right, we've got Alabama, Ohio State, Texas, Oregon, Georgia, Tennessee. We're going to throw in Miami still over Clemson, right? You guys with that? Okay.
I still think I know Miami struggled this past game. I still think they're the better team.
How about Penn State?
I'm on the fence there. What do you think, Ryan? You beat the Titans. Assuming you want them in.
I don't trust Franklin.
I do like. I'm with you on that. I do like the coordinators, especially the one the offensive coordinator he brought in from Kansas. Because look at what it's done to Kansas too.
I don't like the value at minus 180 on Penn State, so let's leave them out. I don't like the value on Missouri at even money. Ole Miss plus 120, no thank you, after screwing me over last weekend. And Notre Dame, I'm sorry, you lost to Northern Illinois. I'm not trusting you at plus 120.
That was a good win for them last week, though.
It was.
And their schedule sets up well.
I get it, but gosh.
11-1 Notre Dame's getting in for sure.
Even with the loss to Northern Illinois.
For sure, 11-1 Notre Dame, for sure. Because first of all, 11-1, you're not talking about a 14-team playoff, you're talking about a 12-team playoff. For sure they're getting in. And Northern Illinois is not a bad team. Does 10-2 Notre Dame have any chance? If their second loss, none at all. None at all.
Not with a loss to Northern Illinois and with that schedule.
There's going to be teams that, I'm telling you, there's going to be teams like whoever the last two at-large teams that are in, you guys are going to have a problem with.
I'm going to have a problem with Notre Dame at 10-2.
I know, but there's going to be a team that's like, if it's not Notre Dame at 10-2, it's going to be some team at 9-3 that you don't want in. I guarantee it.
I got your team. I got the team to round out this parlay. Boise State.
Oh, I thought you were going to say UNLV.
No. Boise State plus 180. I think they are going to be the group of 5 team. You put that together, 8-leg parlay. Again, it's to make the college football playoff. It's Alabama, Ohio State, Texas, Oregon, Georgia, Tennessee, Miami, and Boise. Guys, we're getting 11.5 to 1. Pretty good.
Pretty good. I mean, the summertime odds, man, we're never going to get those again. But
summertime.
Scotty, I will say.
Summertime sadness.
I will say, if Missouri beats Texas A&M this weekend, I really like them to get in.
As the 5th SEC team in?
No, as over one of the other ones. Because like we said, I'm not sold on Tennessee yet. And Georgia, they could easily lose another one and be bumped out. I'm just saying I like the way Missouri's schedule sets up if they get by Texas A&M this week.
We're not bumping Georgia out, right?
I'm not telling you to bump anyone. I'm saying I personally like Missouri if they get the win this weekend.
I wonder how much street cred Missouri got from that win over Ohio State's freshman squad. I almost called them JV. That's not even doing it justice.
Okay.
Like,
that's not fair, though, to that Missouri team
to
say that.
Ohio State was in that game. Ohio State was leading that game like 3-0 almost at half. Like, they're
all
JV
I'm saying
team.
is that Missouri team was really good, and they had 2 of their best defenders out. I'm just saying that was a good team.
Good team, but like, I mean, Ohio State with Lincoln Keenholz isn't beating last year's Indiana.
I watched Missouri play Vanderbilt. Because I had money on it. So I was watching a big chunk of that game.
And they did not play well.
And they needed overtime and a lucky missed field goal to beat Vanderbilt.
They're not good.
At home.
They're living on that Ohio State win, I'm telling you. All right, up next, let's talk some NFL on the money.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or 2 half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Would you believe that giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people? Or that a single cloud can weigh 550 tons or more? Sounds fake, right? How about an insurance company that actually treats you right? Sounds unbelievable, but it's true. NJM Insurance is proud to put policyholders first. And they don't use jingles or mascots either. Don't believe me? Well, guess what? Everything in this commercial is true and approved by the legal department. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Visit NJM.com for a quote.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they are also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better, just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years, and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof, but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444 James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
Welcome back to On the Money. No score, Columbus Crew. Inter Miami. Lionel Messi. I know you're really into this. It's hard for you to concentrate, Scotty.
Really
this
is.
reminds me of when I was trying to do the show while the Bengals were playing. It's like hard to do that when your favorite team is playing. You're a huge Columbus Crew fan. So let's see if the Crew can get it done tonight. Let's talk some NFL. We're going to do our touchdowns contest. Ryan Baker, as he is wont to do, is leading the contest.
Boo.
Ryan has 6 touchdowns for his players. I have 4. Scotty has 3. The way this works, we each take a player each week. In the NFL, you only can take him once. It's how many touchdowns he scores. If you take a quarterback, he has to rush the ball in the end zone or catch a touchdown for Jared Goff. You can do that too.
How about that?
18 of 18, and you have a receiving touchdown? Hello. Detroit's liking life right now, unless you're a Michigan fan. Like the Tigers, the Lions, things are going good in Detroit right now, unless you're a Michigan fan.
Unless you live there. Okay. No?
Okay. I don't know. I've never lived there, thankfully. All right, so I'm taking Kenneth Walker this week. Who you guys got?
I'm going to go Derrick Henry. Again, Derrick Henry has 6 touchdowns.
He's large.
On the year. Had the incredible one to start the game the other day.
He's playing against a terrible defense this week from Cincinnati.
There you go.
They're on to Cincinnati.
Derrick Henry for me. Ryan?
I am going to go with Jonathan Taylor of the Colts this week.
Let's see, you guys. I took those guys, so of course now you guys got to take them. See, that's what Ryan used to do. Like, I took him. I can't believe you're taking that guy. Speaking of our home run contest, Ryan, congratulations.
Boo.
Ryan Baker is our winner of our home run contest. It was a blowout, and now we put Ryan on the spot, live on the air. Where are we taking you to pay off this bet?
What if I didn't know yet?
You got it. You got to make the call. If you don't make the call tonight, then you're going nowhere.
Hey, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow.
This is not happening anytime soon with football season going on.
And Messi just scored for Inter Miami.
Shouldn't have talked about it.
Messi just scored. Extra time in the first half, so we still got a second half for Cucho to equalize that and then some.
Ryan,
this Messi guy coming into Columbus scoring goals, man.
Make the announcement where we are taking you.
We're going
Which
to
Captain D's are we going to?
Oh, there's only one close, right?
Let's go.
I love it. We are going to go so we can have a great night, all of us together. We are going to go to the Final Cut Steakhouse at Hollywood Casino, and then we are going to have a time in the ESPN Bet Sportsbook.
And then
yes,
okay. Now I'm excited.
That's awesome. I was excited anyway.
Choice by you, Ryan.
So glad Ryan won and not you.
Yeah.
You would have taken us to Dayton.
No.
Yes, no, you said you were going to take us to Dayton.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. Great call, Ryan Baker. You know what? I was really angry that you won. And I was actually, earlier tonight, I played my son, who's 8 years old, in one-on-one basketball. And after I beat him, I beat him handily, 10-4. He threw the ball at me. It threw the ball at my head, and I'm like, you got to be a gracious loser. When you lose, you can't throw the basketball at your dad's head.
He's like, I've listened to you on the radio, Dad. I learned it by watching you.
He still hates Ole Miss.
And then I realized that, maybe I kind of behave like that, and so maybe he's picking up some of my bad behaviors. But I am very proud of you for winning the home run contest. The Dinger contest goes to you, Ryan, and we're going to go to Final Cut at Hollywood Casino. That makes me happy.
And it wasn't close.
Do we have those coupons?
He blew us out. I mean, we're not using coupons for when we're taking Ryan. We probably do have some laying around somewhere.
I got them.
I don't know if they're good. Are they good at first cut?
I got a drawer full.
I was going to say Scotty's got all the goods. It helps to know the promotions director at the Fan, who's also a heck of a radio host.
We may know where the for the ESPN sports bet. We may even know where some more are. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we do. We certainly do. Okay, that's a great call. So we were going to make that happen during football season. And then after we get out of the final cut, maybe we all like hang out at the sports book and some listeners can come and enjoy it and have fun with us.
Messi now has 2 goals.
Oh, geez.
2 goals for Messi.
What are you going to order? Like, what are you thinking?
I haven't ever even seen the menu, but I mean, we're going steak, right? We have to. Something good.
Oh, yeah. He's getting steak and then some. He should.
Get the most expensive one.
Yes, of course. Of course. Get 2.
Because we have coupons. So do whatever you want.
All right, up next, we're going to talk why we hate Messi on the money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Do you have foot pain? Foot pain is not normal regardless of your age or job. Podiatric physicians are the most qualified doctors to care for your feet and can provide important foot care solutions or shoe inserts to better manage foot pain. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. We've been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Having health insurance is important. So, if you or anyone in your family has Medicaid or CHIP, listen up. Check your mail for a renewal form from your state. Complete the form and mail it back right away so you don't lose your coverage. If you do lose Medicaid or CHIP, visit healthcare.gov to see if you're eligible to enroll in a low-cost, quality health plan. Keep your family covered. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Did you know 38% of Ohio's teenagers have spent money on gambling in video and online games? Items like mystery boxes, skins, and spin to win mimic gambling, putting children at a higher risk of experiencing a gambling disorder as an adult. So get in the know about youth gambling and start the conversation with discussion guides, parent resources, and more at changethegameohio.org. That's changethegameohio.org.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
I don't know what I want to do. I'm just not sure that college is right for me.
Have you considered a career in dental assisting? I love my job as a dental assistant. I have flexible work hours, the money is good, and I get to work in a professional, people-oriented dental office. What I really love about my job is knowing that I give people a healthy smile.
For more information about becoming a dental assistant, contact your high school guidance counselor. Or if you are no longer in school, talk to a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
All right, Crew down 2-0 to Messi and Inter Miami, but it's just halftime. Plenty of time for the Crew to come back.
Their second half team.
Oh, man, so many people were in Columbus excited to see Messi. Now they're all cursing him. But I'll tell you what, before we get to best bets, DeVante Adams, where do you think he's going to end up? New York?
Gosh.
I'm guessing the Jets. Doesn't that make too much sense? They need a receiver. Aaron Rodgers and him.
It makes sense.
Simpatico.
Yeah. Yep. You know what? I should look at the betting odds. There's got to be betting odds out there.
They're saying the Jets and the Saints, I believe, are the favorite, obviously, because of the David Carr tie as well.
Interesting with the Saints.
Or Derek Carr, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear what DeVante Adams really thinks about that. Does he really have a big connection with Derek Carr? We know he does with Aaron Rodgers. And listen, we love Garrett Wilson, but teams that can just if you're playing the Broncos, for example.
I got odds.
I mean, they're just going to double Garrett Wilson all game. They won't be able to now. Yeah.
Good call by you guys. Jets the favorite, -175. Saints 2-1. Steelers 7-1. And then Chiefs. Oh, gosh. Imagine him going to the Chiefs 10-1.
And the Chiefs need a wide receiver. They've lost Hollywood Brown for
Raiders
the year.
aren't cheap.
And they lost Rashee Rice for the year.
Raiders won't make that.
No, they won't with the Chiefs. The Raiders, and I actually don't fault them because the Raiders would take less to trade him somewhere else.
49ers are on the board.
Which is different than what like the Bears did with Justin Fields. Like they should have just waited, not take the first offer they got. 6th round pick that could turn into a 4th rounder. What a joke. But yeah, man. And then, what does that turn into? You have to get a first rounder for him, right? Think about all the first rounders that are busts. People think, first rounder, you're getting like a Pro Bowler. No, you're not. You're probably not. The odds are highly against you that you're getting a Pro Bowler in the first round.
Yeah, probably first or second round. You're probably right.
Second round would be a steal. If you get DeVante Adams, you're a Super Bowl contender or player. You get DeVante Adams for a second round pick, who'll probably be a guy that never plays much for you. Could be a stud. The odds are he won't be. That's a steal. You're getting a proven commodity for a second round pick. That'd be a steal. I'd love that.
Speaking of looking around at different odds out there are odds on Ohio State to go undefeated in the regular season. Obviously, right now they're 4-0. What would you guess, Dave, the odds for Ohio State to finish 12-0? And again, this is just regular season. This would not include the Big Ten championship game. What odds do you think you could get on that?
Probably even money.
Nope. It's 2-1. Buckeyes to go undefeated, 12-0. 2-1. I kind of like that value. Now, again, that Oregon game it's basically Oregon, Penn State, and I don't even think we can. I mean, I guess we got to throw in that Michigan game as well. But those are the 3 that you think have a chance. I think the 2-1 value on Ohio State going 12-0 is pretty good.
This is what we were talking about entering the year with the 10.5 over/under for win total for Ohio State. We said, listen, I don't know if they're going to be undefeated, but 11-1 sounds a heck of a lot more likely than 10-2, for example. That's why I love the over of 10.5. Mm-hmm. And now here we are. Now, good luck getting over of 10.5 for the Buckeyes. Now we're talking about, are they going to be undefeated? You're right. I mean, I might stay away from that. I do like the value there because, I don't know. I do think they're going to finish undefeated. I really do. But maybe I'm just like a prisoner of the preseason odds, knowing that you get them for 10.5, take the over there. But
but remember, you were paying significant juice on that. That was like over 10.5 -150. So like $100 bet, you're not winning.
110?
No, it was not. And this is 2-1. So $100 bet, you're winning $200.
Right.
But hey, real quick, our best bet, if I had to throw one out at you right now, I'm sticking on the Indiana train. I'm kind of surprised that line has not gone above 2 touchdowns. I know it was 11.5. Now it's 13.5. I think there's good value on the Hoosiers against Northwestern.
The Hoosiers, we've been on them all summer. They're listen, they're living up to it. I absolutely love it. All right, I'm going to go under 45.5 Ohio State, Iowa. Under 45.5 points. Iowa and their opponents have covered the over every time this season. That's going to change this Saturday at the Horseshoe. That is our show for this evening. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it very much. For Scotty Vegas and Ryan Baker, I am Dave Biddle. This has been On the Money.
Here on The Fan, we talk about getting rid of joint pain with the regenerative experts at QC Kinetics. There's no surgery, no downtime, just your body's own healing properties working to give you relief. So you can enjoy doing the activities that you love, like the fastest growing sport in the country. That's pickleball. And here in the Columbus area, QC Kinetics is proud to be a sponsor of Paddle Tap's Pickleball Club. Learn, grow your skills, challenge yourself, and meet other pickleball players. Paddle Tap's Pickleball Club features the ultimate indoor facility with 16 state-of-the-art courts. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, Paddle Tap welcomes all skill levels. See what you're missing. Call Paddle Taps and mention QC Kinetics, and you'll get 1 hour of free play, courtesy of QC Kinetics, the people who take care of those achy joints, so you can play for years to come. For details, go to pbtaps.com. That's pbtaps.com. pbtaps.com.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
I didn't expect to, but I need to get a new health insurance plan. The good news is I found Health Markets. I went to healthmarkets.com and saw plans available in my area. They have access to more than 200 carriers across the country. And if you need help, you can just speak with a licensed insurance agent. It's all right there for you.
Discover the advantages of real personalized service today at healthmarkets.com. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts. Paid actor per trail.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them. I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
Young people are leaving foster care at the age of 18 with little support and few skills. The National Fund for Foster Children partners with individuals, businesses, churches, and civic groups to provide mentorship, training, and assistance to foster children. Teach a young person a new skill or help them with homework. You don't need to be a foster parent to help a foster child. To find out how you can help, go to fosterchildrenfund.org or contact us on Facebook.